You're watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, how small improvements to your smile can make a big difference. According to my first guest, even change your life. With us, we have an expert on the topic. He is the go-to guy in Florida when you want a beautiful smile, Dr. Ritter. Dr. Ritter, welcome to the program.
Great to be here, Randy.
Now, before we get into today's topic, and I said you were the go-to guy, I want people to know it's a real interview. I'm not trying to side with you, but I guess you guys have a reputation there.
We do. We've been there for about 20 years. Me and my partner have been together for about 12, and we've established ourselves as some of the leaders in what we do in our area.
Okay, good. Now, so for people that don't know you, who's the typical patient and what are the different procedures you do? I know you have a team over there.
We do.
Okay.
We don't again, Randy, we don't have a typical type patient. Typical patient to me is anybody from 3 years old to 83. My wife's in the practice as well. We see children, teenagers, middle-aged people, retired, more importantly in our area, the people who come back and forth who we call snowbirds. Our typical patient is somebody involved in the community, somebody that's a school teacher, a fireman, a police officer, a professional in the medical industry. Those are our types of patients that we have.
Now, you do a lot of smile makeovers. I'm calling it a smile makeover, but people that really want a beautiful smile.
Sure.
And also take care of denture wears.
Right.
And
we do all of that. If you want to come in and whiten your teeth, we can do that. You want to come in and get your teeth clean, we do that. You want to get rid of the old silver fillings that you probably had in your mouth since you were 15 years old, from the first time you saw your first dentist, we can redo that. If you want a smile improvement, if you want to euthanize, and when I say euthanize, I mean make you look a little younger, we can do those types of makeovers, but we do all facets of dentistry within our practice.
Okay, so a little bit about your background and training. I mean, you have a list of credentials that I'm not so sure I know what they mean. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about your background and training and, after dentistry. Today's topic, we're talking about kind of cosmetic dentistry. I remember on the phone, you kind of laughed and said, everything we do, we want it to look good, right? Everything's cosmetic. But tell me about your training, because you teach other dentists.
Yeah, I've been teaching other dentists for about 14 years. I'm on the road, used to be 30 to 40 times a year, which is exciting.
It's like every other week.
Yeah, it was pretty much. And then, of course, I had a young daughter, and I didn't want to travel quite as much, so I only do probably 10 to 15 lectures a year now, which is on me, but I still enjoy it.
What are you teaching them? I mean, what's your topic?
Well, my topics really come down to about 3 different things. One would be cosmetic dentistry and smile makeovers. 2 would be implant dentistry, both whether it be a single tooth or converting denture patients into implant-supported denture patients, which is much more comfortable for them. And the 3rd is the ever-evolving, changing world of digital dentistry. Fact is, in my personal life, I'm about 90% digital, right? Okay. Other than eating. And I try to take that information and bring it into dentistry, and there's so much that we do. You're digitized from the moment you find us on the internet to the time you come in and check in on our iPads, to the time we take digital x-rays in our office, digital photography, and then design your smile digitally as well. It's all a digital workplace, a digital workflow if you have it.
At the top of the show, I said that you believe that small improvements to the smile can change a person's life. You believe that?
Absolutely.
And if so, elaborate.
I do. It's very important to somebody's life, their lifestyle, the way they feel about themselves when they have a good smile. Forget the whole process of dentistry itself. The end or the outcome of it is very, very important to one's self-esteem. I mean, there's so many studies out there that say if you feel good and you look good, it comes through. I mean, if you take a look at people who apply for jobs, people who have a good self-esteem, people who have a good smile, people who dress well, people who are in shape, they seem to do better in society. Now, those are studies that's, it's just been proven over and over again. So that I can affect change for people in that respect. I can give them a happier, healthier smile.
Have you ever had a patient say that that their teeth made that big of a difference?
Well, I had a guy come in who lives in my community, and he typically doesn't smile, wears one of those heavy mustaches to cover his teeth. We see this all
like the walrus mustache.
Yeah, pretty much. And what happened was he told me he doesn't really smile because he'd never really liked his teeth. It turns out that his situation was he was orphaned as a child, and when he went to go live with his grandparents, he noticed his grandparents' teeth were small and flat. So what he did is he went into the restroom, he took a nail file, and he started to file down his teeth to fit in with his grandparents. Pretty traumatic, I would say, at a young age, right? So he told me he never really liked his teeth. He'd like to do something about it. With one of our smile makeovers, all of a sudden we gave him that youthful, vibrant smile he always wanted. And of course he comes in, he couldn't be happier. He's smiling now. His wife became a patient. She says, "Thank you for what you did for my husband. I've never seen him smile so much in my entire life." And it was a life-altering experience for him. I enjoy those moments more than the physical dentistry. I like spending time with my patient, understanding their motivations of where they come from and where they're going to go.
Okay, good. Now you work with your partner, Dr. Ramsey.
Yes.
And you guys do the same stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like tag team
And you
dentistry.
have fun there.
Oh, we have a lot of
And
fun.
we talked
Yeah,
on the
I mean,
phone.
we hear
you
that all
guys
the time.
Hang out, even when you're off.
Even when we're off camera, off stage.
Both your
off
wives are
dentistry.
dentists? Is that true?
Both of our wives are dentists.
You guys live in the same
We
neighborhood?
live on the same street. Our daughters are 1 year apart. Our wives have the same birthdays. It's one of those odd occurrences that all came together, a confluence of factors, and I tell you, it works out well. We kind of have this same mentality, which is great.
Okay, good. Now, you brought some photos. What are we going to look at here?
Well, I'm just going to go through a couple of the cases that we've done, some befores and afters. This is a patient who came to see me, basically unhappy with her teeth since she was about 15 years old.
All right.
She's worn down her teeth. They're flat. They're discolored. A dentist, when she was about 18 years old, tried to put some composite or plastic filling material on her teeth to get her through. Well, she's older now and wants to do something with her teeth. So by me, we have a couple of options, and what we wound up doing was putting some new porcelain on her teeth. Whether it be crowns or veneers, we don't really get into that as much. We really just want to affect big change. Big change. Here's a gentleman who came to see me who had worn down his teeth as well, had discolored teeth, never really did anything.
Pretty good smile.
Yeah, but he didn't like it.
Okay.
And some of the things that he didn't like were, he almost has like a reverse smile, Randy, where instead of his front teeth being longer, his front teeth were shorter. He had spaces between his front teeth. They were discolored. Some of the other teeth on the sides were kicked out, where others were kicked in. He never really appreciated his smile. Okay. Comes to see us, we're able to go ahead and change a few things, again with some porcelain bonded veneers, and all of a sudden all those spaces are gone. The edges of his teeth match the curvature of his lower lip. It gives him a more broad, beautiful smile. Or this woman here. This is an interesting woman. She comes to see me, very, very nice lady. She tells me that her father was a dentist growing up, which I thought was fascinating. I spent more time talking to her about her father than about her dentistry. And through the years, she had worn down her teeth. They had discolored.
Is this an older woman?
It's an older woman. She didn't like some of the dentistry that was done through the years, and of course, her teeth had gotten darker with time, both from just natural, wear and kind of the foods that we eat and drink. So Randy, on her smile, if you really look at it more closely, not only are her teeth worn, they're flat. Her lower teeth, the front two teeth are flat. She has a space between her front two teeth. The lower teeth are kicked out. They're not in symmetry, or they're not spaced properly. The older dentistry on the sides, the older crowns, are technology from 20, 30 years ago, where you have metal in them, and we're trying not to use metal anymore in dentistry. Okay. And so we're able to affect big change for her doing porcelain. So after spending some time with her and looking at all those things that are going on in her mouth, that gets me very excited because I can already see the end before I even start.
Was that right?
Oh yeah, it's very exciting for me. I already know what I'm going to do for her. And so for me, I have to kind of control myself because I'm bursting through trying to tell her, oh my gosh, we can change all this. I can give you longer, whiter, straighter teeth. So with some small changes, we can even do some small tooth movements with some like Invisalign trays to move the lower teeth back into place, right, without having to even do the lower teeth. And so I'm able to give her a bright, white, more natural looking smile. So Randy, if you look at the before and the after, look how much more youthful and young the after smile is. I mean, it's a big change for her, isn't it? What a huge advantage. And she's extremely happy with it.
Now, as a dentist, because I know you live in an area where people take great care of themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Their skin, their hair, their nails. I think we had this discussion on the phone. They've got the nice bag, and then they have these old teeth. Do you see that? All the time. Do you think it's a fear of the dentist that keeps them from doing this? Because this is really a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, that probably comes from your childhood. I like to think a lot of things come from our childhood. We carry that baggage with us. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in my town, people do take care of themselves. They do have nice cars, and they have nice bags and nice shoes. And because we're outside a lot, you're seen a lot. Your smile is the ultimate accessory, right? You'll always take it with you. It'll last you 10, 20 plus years if you take care of it. That's longer than some of those bags and shoes that they carry, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, good. Oh, that's good. Okay, so what else? This is good. And we have to go to a short break. But let's take a look at this. One more. Basically, you can just take a look at her before and after. And you can definitely see, Randy, she didn't like it, though. Okay. She wanted to do something about it. She had the wherewithal. They basically come into my office, and they say to me, there's something about my smile I don't like. And this is kind of where I can help them out. We take digital photos, we use a mirror, and we say to them, point out the things, almost like the old Nip Tuck show. Tell me what you don't like about yourself. Right? Okay, and what do they say? Well, they say, well, my teeth have gotten shorter. My teeth have gotten yellow.
The old dentistry that was done for me 20, 30 years ago doesn't look good now. And I'm like, you know what? We can change that for you. We can improve that. You'll feel great after it's done. You'll look wonderful. You'll feel much better about yourself. And it comes through in their pictures. Take a look at their home pictures, the before and afters. Most of the time, they're not smiling in their home pictures.
Well, that's beautiful.
She loves her smile. She is so happy
I'm trying
and
not to
appreciative
side
that
with
she
you,
did
by
it.
the way, but these photos are good. You know, people need to know it's a real interview. And I think I told you off camera, I said, the problem with veneers, I said this to you, is I could spot them walking down the street.
Not us, not in our office. We don't have that reputation. I don't want that reputation. There are other people that have that reputation. I want my smiles to match their face. That's what designing a smile to match somebody's face.
Because they're not too big.
No, they fill out and match the curvature of the lower lip, and you can see teeth from side to side.
Is that in the hands of the dentist? I mean, is there a lot
Of course,
to the
there's
design?
an art. Yeah, well, there's an art and a science to do in this type of dentistry. Yes, I can go out and I can teach another dentist the science, but the artistry comes from within. You have to kind of have an idea of where you're going to go before you ever touch the patient. Okay. And from doing this for so long and working with some of the best ceramics on the planet, I'm able to provide that service for
Okay, good.
patients.
One more photo. What do you got?
One more photo. How about this young girl who comes to me at 25 years old, really attractive young woman, and says to me, Dr. Ritter, I'm going to get married in a year.
Still not a bad smile. That's why I'm
she
curious
doesn't
to see
like
what
it,
this
but why does
after's
she
gonna
come
look
to see me? Because she thinks that she looks like she's 12 years old.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, she does look young.
Right, she looks young. So after working with my periodontist and doing a so-called smile lift for her, I'm able to go ahead and replace her teeth, place on her teeth some porcelain veneers, and give her the smile that befits a 26-year-old woman, right? So you notice how the teeth follow the curvature of the lower lip.
On the after.
The after. Take a look at how it fills out her smile.
And
Take
those
a look
are
at the
veneers?
color. Those are thin porcelain. In fact, we didn't even prepare her teeth. Those are no prep veneers where I don't even have to prepare
They just
her
go right
teeth.
over the teeth.
They go right over the teeth, right? So what could be better than that? Basically, I'm not destroying any healthy tooth structure, and what we're winding up with here is a beautiful, white, youthful smile. She got married, and now she does modeling. That's a success.
Excellent. It's good stuff.
One more, Randy. I just want to show you
One
one
more
more patient.
okay,
One more patient. This woman comes to see me. She had veneers done 15 years ago. You know, they're okay. Quite honestly, though, she thinks her smile could be better. It can be more broad. It can be more youthful. It can be more bright. If you take a look at the corners of her mouth, there's no teeth there. There's some silver from the old type of dentistry that's there. It's not broad. It doesn't fill out her smile. She doesn't like it. But take a look at her after, Randy. After we're able to go ahead and replace those old crowns that were with metal in them, now we go metal-free. And very, very strong ceramic materials now that will last a very, very long time.
I mean, she looks almost more sophisticated.
Oh, she is. I mean, look at her. She spends time, again, she's a snowbird. She spends time here and elsewhere. She plays a lot of golf. She's out on the golf course a lot. She has a great lifestyle. And if you take a look at her after photo, I mean, it changes everything about her. She's softened up her smile. Her eyes have softened. I mean, it's a big, big difference for her.
We're out of time. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring on your partner on the show. Anything you want to say about him before he comes on? What we need to know about him?
You're going to enjoy yourself.
Okay, all right. Thanks for coming on the show. Very interesting.
Randy.
Good for you.
Thank you very much.
You're watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We'll be right back. You're watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, smile makeovers. According to my second guest here, he says that small improvements to your smile can make a big difference in your life, how people react to you, and more importantly, how you feel about yourself. With us, we have the go-to, or I should say Florida's cosmetic dentist, Dr. Ramsey. Dr. Ramsey, welcome to the program.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, I guess you guys have a big reputation. We've had you and your partner was on the show as well, as being cosmetic dentists, but you do just about everything, right? I mean, you do fillings.
Yeah, we do fillings. I mean, we're general dentists. I think one of the things we would always try to get across is when people think of us as cosmetic dentistry, it doesn't have to be work that's huge. It could be one tooth or 20 teeth. Point being is no matter what you're doing, big or small, we try to make it as cosmetic as we can. We really want it to blend into Mother Nature and look as natural as it can, regardless of how big or small it is.
Okay, good. So for people that don't know your practice, I mean, who's the typical patient? And what are the different procedures that you do?
You know, that's a great question because truth be told, I get that question a lot. What's your typical patient? And I always joke about the fact is we don't have a typical patient. Our typical patient is 9 to 99. There is nothing typical about them. We've got soccer moms and police officers and CEOs and janitors. And I mean, it's everything you could think of from a demographic standpoint. But our typical patient is people who just want good dental health and at the same time want to make their teeth look better.
So you teach other dentists, okay?
Correct.
I mean, so you believe it's artistic talent. I mean, some people have it, some people don't?
Well, there's an art and science. There's an art
But do you believe some people have it, some people don't?
I think for the people who don't, it can be taught, but I think you're either going to understand art from a standpoint. You meet people that are just artistic when you meet them. I really wasn't one of those people when you first met me, you would say, wow, he's a really artsy guy. I had a good science background. I could understand it. I thought I was a good communicator. But as far as the art of it, it was where you needed to take the best things you could learn from the best people in the world and really then hone what made sense to you and make it work within the realm of where you're working. And so, yes, I think the people that don't have it can be taught it, but I think it's just repetition of being able to understand what you're looking at and what you're looking for.
And people need to know it's a real interview. I'm not endorsing you for, on this show in particular, but we always like to say, even on our website, that it doesn't cost more to go to guys at the top of their game.
That's correct. There's this perception sometimes.
You do small things too, and big things.
Right. No, I do small to big. Sometimes we meet people, we'll be out socially, and people say, I thought you guys were just the guys who did big smile makeovers. Well, we are, but we're also that guy that wants to reach out to you or your loved ones or your family members and say, if you got a small problem, by all means, come in. We do those small things. You need a filling. You need a single crown.
How'd you get that reputation? Just local advertising or news
You know what? That's the
media?
funny thing. We actually, if you look for us, we don't do a lot of advertising. I didn't want to build a reputation based on advertising or ads in a magazine. I wanted a reputation from people that would run into other people and say, wow, you have a beautiful smile, not wow, who did your teeth? There's a big difference in that.
I feel like I could spot, respectfully, I could spot veneers walking down the street. That's my hesitation with.
Right, and you know why? Because you recognize the bad ones, but I got to tell you, you typically would not recognize the ones we do. Can I give you an example?
Okay.
Is that all right?
Take a
I'll
look.
give you a perfect example. I got a guy that comes to see me. He's had a front bonding done. A lot of people out there have bondings on their front teeth. They get that done, and what happens? They have the same problem everybody else has. They kept breaking. And it wasn't about the dentist before me, the inability or ability to do the bonding. It was about what was going on, not just within the bonding, but then the whole complex of how the teeth functioned on top of each other, and it kept breaking. So he came to me out of frustration. I'm tired of dentists, I don't like dentists, and every time I do it, they must be doing it wrong. The dentist wasn't doing it wrong, he was just missing an important component, which was how the teeth come together as a bite. I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
There you go. Guy was front bonded.
You're excited about this.
I
This
am.
is
I
good.
love
I'm
this
getting
stuff.
excited
No, I
about
love this stuff. I love it.
I got to tell you something. Before you came on, I thought, I can't believe I got to interview a dentist.
It sounds boring,
But
right?
This is good.
Because dentists in general can be boring.
Okay.
I get it.
So this person comes to you.
He comes to me front bonding, and after we address what's going on beyond the bonding, I can see that the tooth is broken. I understand why they're here when we meet, but I want to know more about him. I got to know him. What does he do for a living? His typical story. I just want to know a little bit. I like to really get to know my patients before we jump into the dentistry. And once I realized the things he liked and didn't like, it wasn't just the chip. He had his teeth bonded because he believed it would make his teeth look better. He had it bonded and he realized my teeth don't look better. So I said simply, just tell me what you don't like. Sky's the limit. What do you like and what do you not like? Well, when it was all said and done, we came to the conclusion that we could do things like this for him, and now look at the difference. I mean, yes, we fixed the bonding, but we fixed a bite. We made the smile look better. And what I want you to see about that, Randy, is the one thing we built our reputation on. Anybody can do big white teeth. Those are not big white teeth. That's more of a cosmetic look. We're looking for an aesthetic look, which basically says, somebody will look at you and go, wow, you have a beautiful smile. Not, oh my goodness, your teeth are coming in the door before the rest of your body.
Okay, good. Now, so we're talking about veneers, but what are the categories? If you had to say there's a category of cosmetic dentistry, what is it?
A category.
Like whitening, you got bonding, filling in gaps.
Yeah, I think when you look at categories, I think most importantly, no matter how one wants to label the categories of cosmetic dentistry, I think everything needs to be started with a conservative approach first. What's the most conservative thing I could do for somebody who walks through the door who says, I want to improve my smile? Whitening, no question.
Good.
We can do a little, maybe
So you're
some
not
small
just
corrections.
veneers. You're not just
No,
thinking
not at all. In fact, there's a lot of people that come in, and based on their age or the demographic, we may actually say, you know what, maybe you don't want to do that anymore. Maybe it's something you want to think about whitening first, because just whitening your teeth, you got beautiful, healthy teeth, you can make them look dramatically
So some
better.
people come in and they say, I want veneers.
Yes.
And you may say, really, you need whitening.
Yeah, I may actually talk them out of it and say, let's talk about a conservative approach first. Because ultimately, I want to have a patient for life. I want them to come and see me and say, you know what, I've been with you for years and you didn't talk me into something I wasn't 100% sure of. You guided me down the right path. And the day comes and they really want to get that procedure, they're in the right place to do it.
You believe, though, a smile could change their life?
Oh.
Because it sounds like an exaggeration.
No,
frankly.
I know, but I meet so many people, they're so unhappy with the way their teeth look. In fact, we're in northern Palm Beach County. I mean, a lot of people do a lot of things to make themselves look better. And one of the things they'll often miss, they'll miss the teeth. So they're doing their face, they're doing their eyes, they're doing something, or maybe they're doing nothing at all. And they look in the mirror and you say, what is that one thing that can make a difference? And I see it every day. Fix your teeth, big or small, bleaching or veneers or anything in between. Wow, what a dramatic improvement it makes. Is it okay to give you
Yeah,
another
sure.
opinion? I'll just give you
Sure,
another
okay.
insight.
Okay, good.
Perfect example. I've got a young lady comes to see me. She's in her mid-30s. But unfortunately, she's got the smile. Take a look at that. She got the smile of
Wow.
what would look like a 12-year-old.
Looks like a kid.
Now, she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's a beautiful girl both inside and out with an amazing personal story. But truth be told, she's got these amazing
She was
stories.
very self-conscious about this?
She was self-conscious about her teeth, but not about her person. So she was always smiling, even with bad teeth.
Okay.
But she knew, you can look in the mirror and say, you know what? I know I'm a great person, but my teeth don't
Do
look
you
great.
feel, by the way, like, because I know we've talked on the phone, you feel you're at the top of your game. Do you feel like this gal's lucky that she landed here with me? Do you think that?
You know, it's funny.
Tell me, do you?
I do. I do. I do. When I meet someone like that, I think to myself, I'm so glad she found her way
Like
into
this is her lucky day.
Well, maybe is it her lucky? I know it's going to be her lucky day because I can see the end result, and that's the great thing about doing this work. I can see that person when they walk in. I walk them.
So you
I
get
watch them.
excited about it.
I do. I get really excited because when I look at somebody like that, I think to myself, she has no idea how great she's going to look when this is done. She just needs a chance for me to get to know me and trust me enough to say, you know what, when we're done, you're going to look great. Let me show you what she looked like when she was done, because she's one of the great success stories we have. And I love her to death as a person because I really got to know her. Like I said, I love to get to know people. I really got to know her. Look at the difference now we made in that smile. It's outrageous.
Like very sophisticated. I mean, what a difference.
Right. Now, can I tell you, Randy, she knew she could make an improvement, but she had no idea that it could be that.
Her entire appearance on it.
That's the biggest thing.
Does she get? I mean, when they see it for the first time, what happens?
Most of the time, they cry.
Really?
Yeah. Which I got to tell you, I'm a relatively tough guy, but I mean, if they start crying, I start welling up. I make an excuse, you know. But the truth be told, I mean, I know they're crying because they're just so happy again. They knew it could be better, but everyone I meet, remember that demographic I talked about, 9 to 99? They typically don't know what's possible. They don't know.
How old are people coming in to transform their smile?
Oh, it's amazing. I've got people now coming in that I've got 2 ladies who just finished up work with me recently. They're in their 70s. 170, 174.
Because 70's young today, but I don't think of 70-year-olds as getting veneers.
Right, and nor would you be. But when you start seeing others, there's a lot of people who have been in their lives, and now, for whatever reason, personal reasons, personal dramas, whatever, their lives have changed. Now they're on another section of their lives. This is Northern Palm Beach County, so understand, I meet people in their 70s, in their mind, they've got many, many years ahead. So they're ready. They're still wanting to live. They're young in their mind. They're young physicality. They're looking at their teeth. They go, you know what? The rest of my body doesn't look 70. Another example. I know I got lots of examples, but I get so psyched about it. I'm glad you asked me about it.
We're a little short on time, but...
Okay, real quickly, I'll show you this. So she's 70 years old. And what she said is, she says, you know what? I know I look great physically. And she does. She's a vibrant, out golfing, doing her thing. And then she said, but my teeth look old. I just don't want my teeth to look old. I said, if that's your desire to make a difference, let's talk about what we can do for you. So I want you to take a look at a couple of things. What's making her teeth feel old to her is the fact that they're worn, they're flat, they're not responding to whitening anymore. They're just kind of all over the place. And she said, I just want to make my smile match the rest of my body and my face. And we were able to do that for her, gave her a wonderful, wonderful smile. That was age appropriate as well.
That's a pretty smile. That's a sexy smile.
You know, one of the things you're going to notice about these smiles is when you look at those 2 front teeth, you notice they're a little bit longer. If you look at all the smiles that really look beautiful, go through magazines, you'll notice there's typically a little central dominance, meaning those 2 front teeth look a little bit longer. It creates youth, it creates a better looking smile, and it frames the face better.
Very nice. What does she say when it's all done? Do you remember?
Short of I love you, I don't remember much. No, she's amazed. You know, and the greatest thing about her is, the number one thing I love about her is, she now sends in people that are at her same demographic that didn't even know something like this was possible.
Well, good for you. Good for a few more.
Great. Okay, how about another one? I got another one. In her 70s. You know, I love this because you asked me about people. Because here's the thing. I mentioned to you 70-year-old women. They don't know it's possible. Same thing. Comes in, short, old bondings. This is very common in our area. I've had dentistry for 25 years in my mouth. What was good for dentistry at the time.
That's a pretty good looking smile. It's just
It is. She just knew it could be better. That was done 25 years ago. And it held up great, but she said it no longer matches my face. And I want to make things look a little bit more youthful and age appropriate. And we were able to give her a smile that looks like that. And again, works great for her. The demographic worked in regards to how we make
It's very natural, by the way. Because when I think of veneers, I think of big teeth.
Yes, and that's typically unfortunate. You say the word veneer, you think big white teeth or chiclets.
Because on television, I mean, you do see, I mean, we're here in California, we see a lot of these big teeth.
Right. And I think a lot of people, when they come to the dentist...
I mean, who's the one deciding this, the patient or the doctor?
Well, I help guide them down that path. When someone comes to see me, I ask them a very simple question. Are you looking for a cosmetic result or are you looking for an aesthetic result? The difference between those two is aesthetic looks a little bit more God-given. Cosmetic, like for instance, Randy, see the ladies in the big lipstick ads, really, really red lips? No one's born like that, but we still like it.
Okay.
I can give you really big white teeth, or I can give you teeth that match your face. My goal, let's balance the lower third and the middle third of your face, and that's the difference between a smile makeover and just doing veneers.
Now, the turnaround time. So a woman like, I mean, if everything works out just right, what could be the turnaround time? Somebody watching this, they don't like their smile.
Turnaround time, you can have a smile like that in 3 to 4 weeks. But if you came to see me for a consult and you were really pressed and we can make it happen for you, we're going to make it happen for you. So if we have to turn around even faster, we can do it. The bottom line is I'm here to get you what you're looking for, not make you work within a box
How do you
that
let
I
them
have.
know what it's going to look like, by the way?
I think one of the best things is we've done so much of this. I can bring up my laptop, show them case after case that fits that same
Like a
person.
smile like theirs.
A smile like theirs. And I'm a big believer in that. Let me show you the work I've done, not someone else's pictures of before and after. I'm going to show you my work, someone who fits your demographic.
Do they ever point and say, I want that?
Absolutely. They go, can I have that? I go,
Do they ever
absolutely.
bring in pictures of celebrities and say, I want this?
They do.
They
and it's
do?
okay. And I encourage that.
Do they ever bring pictures of me?
They do. They do. They're never as good looking though.
Okay, so we're out of time. Final
Ah,
message.
okay.
Somebody watching this doesn't like their smile. What do you say to them? And
You
they're
don't like
nervous. They're nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Most people, listen, they don't like the dentist.
Yeah,
we
they don't.
get that. We don't like. You don't like the dentist, but here's the thing. Come for a consult. It costs you nothing. Come
Good.
see us. Come see us. Let's chat. We'll give you as much time as you need to express what you're looking for and help us guide you down the path, and we'll get you to what you're looking for. At least come see us for a consult. We're happy to give you all the information you need to make the best decision for yourself.
Oh, thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on the show.
Thanks, Randy. Thanks.
Very
It was
good.
great.
And all
Thanks.
these are on your website.
Or on the website, just give us a shout anytime.
Consultations are free.
Absolutely. It doesn't cost you a cent to come talk to us and tell us what you're looking for.
Okay, good. You've been watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you would like to see this interview again online, visit our website at wellnesshour.com. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.